You're fearless. You're the best that you will ever be when God is in your heart like that. And when it's burning, you're fearless, and you're not afraid of the devil. You actually hunt him. And any of them that hurt our little children in the film, there's a line in there where he says, "Why are you doing this?" And I say to him, as Tim said, "Because God's children are not for sale."
Happy Friday, happy Shabbat, everyone. Recently, Hollywood actors have woken up. They've come to realize that they've been on the wrong side. Mel Gibson, I think they're trying to make sure that his movie doesn't come out. But it's rumors. We'll get into that later. For now, we're going to watch this amazing actor that almost made me cry. So without further ado, let's dive right into this video.
Obviously, you understand the content of this. Once the world sees this film, and once they see the ships that they transport the children in and all of this stuff, well, there's no other film like this. Our industry can't make this film right now because of a lot of people that are involved in it all over the world that are in this. And many of these people are very famous. I kind of started there with Tim, and when he started to show me all of the hell that they have to look at, you know, it's when I bring this up to people, I'm not for trafficking of children. I want to stop it. And Tim would always tell me, you know, when you're playing this, just remember that, because this hell that you have to look at, most of the guys I bring in, and they've seen the worst stuff that you've ever seen. It's just what they do to children. Children are nothing more than like a cow. It's already past the drug trade, okay? This is like, if you were to watch Schindler's List, you would say, boy, that was terrible. I wish I was around that. Maybe I could have done something. But you can do something now. And you can end this. When your child is taken, you're never going to see that kid again. And at that point, you probably wished you would have done something. We're at that point right now. And if we let our little ones continue to be slaughtered, boy, there's going to be a judgment on this world, and especially our country.
Thank you. Now, Jim, Tim, you're playing the role of Tim Ballard, and Tim is actually continuing to save kids. I mean, you're making a movie about it, but this is what he does, and he
was supposed to be in the room with me in right here or in Tulsa, but he's down there saving children as we speak, because they're pulling kids out of the darkest recesses of hell right now, in dumbs and all kinds of places. The adrenochroming of children, look, where we're at right now, hopefully we need your prayers. This film is, when Tim Ballard came down to Bogota and we had about finished 2/3 of it, I said, why did you pick me? And he said, well, they didn't want you. They wanted someone else. But I said, well, I got to tell you, I did this movie, Monte Cristo and The Passion. And about 2/3 of the way through, I knew we were onto something that was phenomenal. And I said, I feel that with this film. And he goes, well, actually, it was those two films that I saw. That's why I had to have you in my film. So, sorry.
No, Jim, you said a word a minute ago, and I want to clarify what that word was, because you said a word, and I want to make sure that you said adrenochrome.
Yeah.
And a lot of people here, there's about 4,500 people here. There's about 500,000 people streaming online. We're having some cyber attacks. That feed's been going on and off. But you said that word, and by a show of hands, who's heard that word before in this building? Could you please explain, to the extent that you want to or not want to, what that is? Because some people have never heard that before, and we need to discuss that.
Essentially, you have adrenaline in your body. I'll just simplify it. And when you are scared, you produce adrenaline. If you're an athlete, you get in the fourth quarter, you have adrenaline that comes out of you. If a child knows he's going to die, his body will secrete this adrenaline, and they have a lot of terms that they use that he takes me through. But it's the worst horror I've ever seen, is screaming alone, even if I never, ever saw it. It's beyond, and these people that do it, there'll be no mercy for them. And when I, at that point where I have tears coming out of my eyes because my heart is so on fire, I'm fearless. You're fearless. You're the best that you will ever be when God is in your heart like that. And when it's burning, you're fearless, and you're not afraid of the devil. You actually hunt him. And any of them that hurt our little children in the film, there's a line in there where he says, "Why are you doing this?" And I say to him, as Tim said, because God's children are not for sale. They're not for sale. You can't do it anymore, Satan. And we're coming after you. And I'm not afraid, and I'd ask you all not to be afraid either, because they're worth saving.
They're giving you a standing ovation right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
What if this was your daughter?
I uploaded a video a while ago where Tim Ballard was in this conference and he was talking about Mel Gibson contacting him to go and rescue his kids from, kids, orphans from Ukraine, because there's this ongoing war that never ends in Ukraine. So Tim Ballard's job is to rescue kids from these crazy, crazy animals from all around the world. There's rumors floating out there. They might be true, they might not be true. I don't know. But Hollywood, as usual, they've always been against Mel Gibson for a long time. And I heard they're now blocking the movie that is coming out. These people are so against rescuing kids. Even if it's a movie, there's a real situation and there's a movie, like the guy we just saw who was crying. He's acting the role of Tim Ballard, because Tim Ballard has been doing this for over 20 years, if I'm wrong. And so he's seen a lot, and that was quite emotional. So Hollywood are trying to block this video. That's the rumors. I had that rumor. I don't know if it is true. And so what do these people know? Breaking. Mel Gibson is allegedly making a 4-part docu-series on the 34 billion global, I can say, market involving countries like Ukraine. So if you look right here down, I don't know why you can see my cursor. The fact checkers have fact checked the story. So they say this claim lacks sources. Gibson himself denied such reports through a spokesperson. This guy right here is Tim Ballard. You see this video? This is Tim Ballard. And I don't think that this guy is out there spreading rumors, spreading lies, that is not true. So I don't get it. I don't get why the tabloids, the misinformation people, allegedly, that's just according to my opinion, are trying to tell people that there's no such movie. There's no such thing as a 4-part docu-series. Why are they lying?
We have a project called Children Need Families, where we find families and provide grants. There's some countries, and Ukraine happens to be one, where if you're an orphan, the chances of you being trafficked or exploited are so high. And so we knew that when the war began, when Russia invaded, all those adoptions got shut down, and she wanted me to go find these kids. I didn't want to go. I was scared to go. Bombs were dropping, and I didn't know how effective we could be. But God works with the law of witnesses, and within a very unusual, bizarre witness appeared within an hour or two of my wife insisting I go to Ukraine. Got a phone call from Mel Gibson. He actually did the final edit of The Sound of Freedom. That's how we know each other, but not well enough that I'd be getting phone calls. And he told me that he was in Budapest at the time. This was right hours after the invasion, and he said he supports a bunch of orphans in Ukraine, and he was worried about them, and he asked if I could help get them out. So now I've got 12 from my wife, I got 13 others from Mel Gibson, and I'm thinking, okay, I got this list of kids I gotta get out. I told Mel, I said, you gotta help me, this is gonna be expensive. I won't ask you for direct donation, but can you help me film this? You know, let's film what's happening so we can get people to understand and they can support us. He said, no problem. He helped us get set up and started filming. 4 months later, what I thought was gonna be maybe a documentary about Ukraine ends up being a 4-part docuseries that's almost done. It's being produced by DNA Films.
Did you guys hear that? This is Tim Ballard. Mel Gibson was worried about the kids in the orphanage in Ukraine. So he contacted Tim Ballard. Okay, so why are they saying this is false?
Story that came up about Mel Gibson, I kind of want to talk about this. The story was about, I even retweeted it, is a story about the child trafficking documentary that he's doing, a 4-part documentary. It was written by Newsweek saying that he's doing this. So is this the Newsweek one? Yeah. Is Mel Gibson making, okay. Reports have emerged claiming that Mel Gibson is working on a 4-part docuseries uncovering the global child sex trafficking market involving countries like Ukraine. Social media influencers Matt Wallace tweeted, it's time to expose the truth. While the founder of the operation, Undergrounded Railroad, Tim Ballard, hinted at Gibson's involvement in the docuseries, Gibson's representative denied the rumors, stating they are inaccurate. However, high-profile political influencers have expressed support with the former Arizona governor nominee Kerry Lake, stating Mel Gibson's heart and soul are in the right place. Gibson's controversial past, including racist, anti-Semitic, and sexist comments, has fueled speculation. However, fact checkers have revealed that certain quotes attributed to Gibson are false and misleading.